The sun blazed high in the desert sky, casting thin shadows over the vast stretch of sand and stone. The sound of the wind was broken only by the steady rhythm of hooves on the dry ground. A horse moved forward slowly, raising dust with each step. On its back, a lone man wore a wide-brimmed hat, a worn coat, and dusty road boots. No one knew his real name. They simply called him Clint, the Drifter. He came from the south, where stories died in the heat and secrets sank into the sand. They said he'd once been a sheriff, a bounty hunter, a soldier, or maybe all of the above. But now he was just a shadow chasing something even he didn't fully understand. Late in the afternoon, Clint spotted a weathered sign, bent and eaten by time. In almost faded letters it read, Santa Rita del Oeste. The town lay hidden among hills and forgotten memories. He pulled the reins. The horse neighed as if it sensed the place had more ghosts than living souls. The town looked abandoned. Theoden houses creaked in the wind. The saloon was shut, windows covered in dust and loneliness. The church door was wide open, and its bell hung crooked. The silence was as thick as the heat. Clint tied his horse to the old watering post in the square and calmly walked to the only place that seemed to still breathe, the barber shop. Inside, an old blind man was sharpening a straight razor without hurry. When he heard the footsteps, he raised his head. Haven't heard boots from outside in a long time. What are you looking for, Drifter? Maybe just answers, Clint replied, sitting in the cracked leather chair. The only answers around here come with blood, whispered the old man, slicing the air with his blade. Clint knew then he was in the right place. Years ago, Santa Rita del Oeste had been a prosperous mining outpost, gold, silver, and greed. The town bloomed like a poisoned cactus, fast and tough. But when the minerals ran out, the crime stayed. Bandits, gunmen, smugglers, and then came Dom Severino, a land baron, with iron fists and a private army. He took the town as his own, drove out the good, and bought the wicked. He built a kingdom of fear, where the law was only what he wanted. Clint had heard of Severino years before, during a hunt. The name came back to him. When an old native man found him months ago, with a dirty map and a simple request, bring peace to Santa Rita before all turns to bones. The map led him there. That night, Clint stayed in a ghostly inn. The owner, a woman with sunken eyes and trembling hands, brought him cold soup and a warm warning. If you came to kill Dom Severino, you're not alone. But all the others are already underground. Subscribe, hit the bell, and share. Clint simply wiped the dust off his revolver and waited for dawn. When the sun returned, it brought gunfire with it. In the square, 3 of Severino's thugs awaited. The boss wants you gone, one said. Or gone to hell. Clint replied with the dry sound of his Colt. 3 shots, 3 bodies, no hesitation. The windows shut. The town watched in silence. In the days that followed, Clint unearthed truths. He spoke with a drunken priest who'd buried more living than dead on Severino's orders. He heard a story from a mute child who gave him a pendant from his missing mother. And he found an old mine hidden in the canyon. Severino kept slaves there in exchange for sparkling stones that no longer held value. It wasn't gold anymore, it was hatred, crystallized deep in the earth. Seeing the horror in those men's eyes, Clint decided Santa Rita didn't deserve just vengeance, it deserved liberation. On the final night, Clint rode to Dom Severino's mansion. It was a fortress of wooden walls, gas lanterns, and dogs hungry for flesh. But Clint didn't bring an army. He brought justice. He snuck in under the moon, used the darkness as a cloak. He took down guards silently, freed the prisoners, spread gunpowder under the house's foundation, and called out the tyrant's name. Dom Severino appeared on the balcony with a cigar and his arrogance. Who are you to challenge me? I'm just the memory of what you destroyed. Clint said, you'll die like the rest, Severino spat. Maybe Severino, but not today. The shootout was swift. Severino had the advantage, but Clint had something more. Purpose. A single shot pierced the tyrant's chest. The cigar fell, and the house caught fire. Santa Rita del Oeste woke in silence. But it was a new silence, one without fear. Clint left, without saying goodbye. The old blind man heard the hoofbeats fade into the distance and smiled. Maybe there's still salvation in this world, he murmured. On the horizon, the drifter rode beneath the crimson sky of dusk. He sought no glory or fame, only the next forgotten time that needed to remember what justice meant. Thanks for riding with us. Don't forget to like and hit the bell. Until the next adventure.